So it's only been a little over a year since I surrendered my life to Jesus. In that time, I've dived in head first, seeking God with everything in me though. Now, there's been times where Christianity in its entirety has completely made me want to denounce it altogether. At one time, I even started referring to myself as a disciple in an attempt to dissociate myself from Christianity due to hypocrisy and division in the church. Then I remembered something from when I was part of an organization. When I signed up for that organization, I did it because I believed in the values. I believed in the principles it stood on. I was in agreement with them, and the need for comrades being so far from family probably played a part as well. However, I found myself always in disagreement or plain out being embarrassed by other members and their actions. It would make me want to denounce my affiliation to them altogether. The thing is, had I done that, I'd have been in error. You see, when we part of something and others that are part of that thing ain't conducting themselves in alignment with the principles and values set in place, we don't turn our back on what we believe in. We take the trash out. We deal with the issue. That was a vital lesson I believe serves me in this season of my life. You see, as Christians, so many have become Pharisees. So many become holier than thou. So many have been misled, and so many have been blinded and consumed by a false sense of power. And so many find it necessary to expose one another. And that is where the problem lies. We call ourselves calling these pastors and prophets out as false, as this, as that. In some cases, we'd be correct in our accusation. The problem lies in how we're going about it. You see, a kingdom divided against itself can't stand. When we give our life to Jesus, us Christians know the attacks increase in the beginning stages. In fact, the bigger the calling, the bigger the attack. But the bigger the battle, the bigger the victory as well. Anyway, if it stands that it happens on a personal level, would it also not stand to say that it would apply on a larger scale? Absolutely it does. This is where I see the problem. And I'm sure I'll lose some followers and get plenty of negative feedback to what I'm about to say. But God put this on me, so I'm going to say it. The very fact that we have denominations gives the enemy an advantage, and I personally believe that we're set in place to cause what it's caused over a period of time. Honestly, I don't see the need for denominations. We all believe Jesus died and rose on the cross. Denominations are pinned against each other in a constant back and forth of this one's right and that one's wrong. Personally, I don't see how we can put God in a box like that. If we believe in Jesus, we should come together in agreement. Now, add the rest of us believers and shepherds, and look at how much focus is on other churches and leaders versus actually teaching the word of God. We've fallen right into the enemy's trap. Should certain things and people be dealt with? Yes. The issue is how we're doing it. When a brother or sister in Christ is in error, we ought to approach them in private, correct them, and pray for them. If that doesn't produce results, we ought to approach them again with one or two brothers and sisters and pray for them. If that doesn't work, then another course of action should be taken, and depends from situation to situation. What we're not supposed to do is what we've been doing. The devil is attempting to dismantle us from the inside out, pinning us against each other. They are right now in this moment pushing for a one world order and a one world religion. It will be called Chrislam, Christianity and Islam. By 2027, this will be known around the world and possibly implemented. They will come together and say, we must decide on one religion, and it will be Islam that they choose. They will say, how can Christians worship a true God and be so divided? Obviously, they are wrong. Look at them. They can't even agree on simple things. And when I think about it, we're the only religion that exists that is this divided. Listen, y'all, this isn't a message about pumping fear, nor it is about saying one denomination is better than the other. It's about bringing us together. But ask yourself this. How is it that the guy with tattoos all over his body and face, long hair, spent his whole life in bondage, operating under the control of the enemy, an ex-con, has been involved in everything that has to do with street life and crime, someone who would be considered a menace to society, be sitting here calling for unity in the church, calling for us to put our attention where it needs to be, on God and strengthening his kingdom. A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Remember that. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Mighty men of God. Go time, baby. Let's get it.